Welcome back, friends. It's the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for, the channel you cheer for, and we're here giving you that sneaker business talk, some clarity over popularity. All right. So I'm your co-host, T. Martin the Street Shark.
And I'm the OGEO. Welcome back. Thanks again for checking us out.
All right. So now we're a couple years in the game for the podcast, and now we're about to wrap up season 4. I'll give you 30 episodes. Wow, where did the time go? All right. So we just wanted to just continue the tradition as we wrap up a season and just salute to our fans, our supporters of the podcast, friends of the podcast, sneaker friends, and everyone else in between. We appreciate you. So this episode is dedicated to you and your support. So we just go over a couple highlights from season 4, some of our favorite episodes, and some of the episodes that we definitely saw have more reaction than others, and just want to give you a tease into what we're thinking about for the future, because we're coming back. All right, we're just taking a break. It's near for the summer, and then recharge and come back to you, because kind of mirror the NBA season, but finals, and now we have some extra basketball with the Olympics going on. So we just wanted to extend that time a little bit more, spend it with you, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate you. So, OG, let the people know what's going on.
Wow, just again, clarity over popularity. Um, I give Shark all the credit for the show and tell. Our YouTube channel and subscribers are growing organically, which I am very happy about. I'll say my favorite episode had to be the Flight Posit, Phone Posits episode. And anytime we talk about anything as far as the politics or building or peeling back the layers of certain topics. I'll say our discussion regarding the rebound of Kyrie was probably one of my top um, favorite discussions that we had as well. And just for the folks, we say this every time we have a thank you, but keep in mind that Shark and I, we don't have a big production meeting. We don't have scripts. We don't have anything that's written down as far as notes. So what you get here is live, organic. We have the topic at hand, and we just say ready, set, go. So for the wrestling fans out there, this is really like a shoot, and a lot of times we hit a whole lot more than we miss. So if we stumble upon our words or our thoughts and so forth, we'd rather give it to you real as opposed to saying cut. Let's do this over again, because you can, I would say, feel and view authenticity, and that's one thing that Shark and I always want to bring to the forefront. But as far as favorite episodes, I love when we record, but my heart goes to the Phone Posit, Flight Posit episode as well, because coming back home, being back home, getting to represent home, and the whole debate and argument online with Nike now bringing some of the phone posits back, particularly the penny phone posits. It's about timing. And that I think that just kind of struck a chord with folks. So our views went up a lot with that. And thanks for you all for definitely viewing the shorts. And of course, our art acquisitions and our State of the Unions are always top notch, because, again, we peel back the layers and we go a little bit more deeper and more in detail than the typical, I would say, clickbait folks or just for likes folks will do. So we will tackle the same topics, but we will give you more in depth of what's going on, and not only our opinions, but again, Shark is the fact checker. So what you're going to get here, I know we're in the political arena with everything going on, but we're going to be a CNN Channel 10. So I will pass this off to Capone. And I'll say he's Noriega. I'm Capone around here. So CNN Channel 10. I'll give it to Shark Man and give some of your thank you, some of your favorite episodes.
Yeah, you want me to go TONY? But anyway,
I
so
did it for the love of cash, Yana.
so one of the things that you touched on, I just want to elaborate really quick too for our audience. One of the reasons why we do as many one takes as possible, because we want you to be a part of the conversation. We want you to feel like you're in the room with us. All right, so that's what makes it authentic. Yeah, because it's not like the the fifth take of this hot take that we're trying to get it right so that it goes viral and stuff. It is what it is. This is why it's clarity over popularity. We're here for the game, and if it goes viral, then thank you. But in between, like that, like we're not trying to give you this sensational moment and doctor it up just because that's why we do the podcast, because there's too much of that already going on. And we just want to give you these honest conversations from people that were really in the game. There's too many podcasters and bloggers, and they weren't in the game. They weren't a part of the businesses. You just however it grows up and pay to play for many of them as well, that got to where they're at with some of these platforms. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
knocking you for that. I'm just saying keep it real. Keep it real, because as soon as you make it to those platforms, even if you came in with some level of authenticity, can you maintain it?
There you
For
go.
what you're getting those sponsorship dollars and them products, are you really going to be honest, or are you just feeding it for the next free, seed round of some products? Because we've told you this in season 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Everything's not all good. Everything's not the sneaker of the year. Every
Mm-hmm.
time something, and you get to say what you like, not what someone tells you is the sneaker of the year. All right. So, and that's where we keep having these sneaker of the year debates and all these things going on. And you're not really talking to sneaker people. You might talk to some fashionable people, some trendy people, too many artists in music, because the labels are putting you in these platforms because you have to have an image behind whatever genre you're in, and they utilize our community for their advancement. That's what we,
Mm-hmm.
we want to make sure that we control the what we can control, so that we give you some just authentic conversation. And another thing I wanted to point out, just to pull back the curtain for our audience, and we hope you appreciate it. We are continuing to grow. We're evolving in our format. As you can see, we had a full season of video that you can see on our YouTube page. That's super clear. We gave you some video season 3, but now we're giving you that crystal clear action where we can do some real time show and tell. We got some unboxed episodes too, and we're looking forward to locking in some a stronger series of interviews. We've had plenty of conversations, but we want to strategically line them up so that there's not a big gap in time in between some of these interviews. So I can't wait for season 5. And in between time, thank you for everyone who joined us during season 4. We appreciate everyone that's been there since exhibition, the first season. All right, because exhibition was our reasonable doubt. It was built and we've made as if we was never going to make the rest of the podcast, and those 4 episodes were just going to stand alone. But one thing that we've learned in business is that to appreciate the acquisition of our new listeners and viewers. And we want to give you an opportunity. So we thank you for joining, however you join. And if you notice, throughout season 4, we did a lot more callbacks where we remind you what episodes are related to the topic that we're talking about. And I think that translated to some of that binge listening and watching that we saw in some of our activity, where we have our consistent listeners, and then all of a sudden you just see people in other countries just jump in, and then all of a sudden, boom, 30 episodes that you just listened to in 2 days, or a dozen at a time or something like that. So we really love seeing stuff like that. So to answer my own question before I give it back to you is, what episodes that I like? I think I'm torn between the phone posit episode, because it's near and dear to our hearts. We, just I think the need for people from DC to talk about sneakers was another thing, because you don't have DC people representing in the creative space that actually talking about what our style and trends are. You're always hearing about what's going on in New York, Chicago, LA, Florida, and in between. But DC, you know what I mean? That was my paid in full DC. You know what I mean? And And then the other episode was spur of the moment kind of topic, but I think we hit a home run with sneaker boxes matter. All right, because
Mhm.
name another blog that talks about stuff like that. You know what I mean? We had a whole episode just talking about sneaker boxes.
Boxes. Boxes.
Boxes
When it
because they
boxes.
matter, because it's the attention to detail that we love here at the Soul Material Podcast. So the boxes with the accessories, and then that adds to the storytelling. The inside the box, the tissue paper, every single little element is equally important to the whole presentation of why we like sneakers. We like the lifestyle. We like everything associated with it. We love the stories. We have our own stories as well that ties it to us. So yeah. So sneaker boxes matter, and DMV foam posits. I think those are going to be classic, timeless episodes. Anytime you 5 years from now, you can watch you can watch those episodes and be like, oh, I get it. And we hope that you learn, enlighten some perspective, because maybe sneaker boxes matter to you, but you didn't think that it was a big deal. Those are the type of things we want to do, and just say, hey, it's not just us thinking this way, but there's not a lot of people talking it and saying it out loud. So yeah, more reflective thoughts from the OG before we're gonna keep it short and sweet,
Definitely.
but we just want to make sure we give everyone in our audience their flowers for supporting us.
Definitely. But to quote Jay-Z, people lie, numbers don't. And just to piggyback on something you just really honed in on, more than ever this season, a lot of people discovered us and really went back to past episodes, even all the way down to season one exhibition. And I saw that consistently across the board from people all across the country, which um, dumbfounded me a little bit because, as simple as it may sound to say we are on these platforms, we know it's universal, anyone can get to them. It's just shocking when you get the actual statistics of who's listening to you, how frequent they are, and where they from. I like to have conversations with folks say, how did you discover us? Because now there's this whole in our pod beam app, people are catching us at Safari now more than Apple sometimes and more than a lot of other platforms, YouTube and so forth. So um, I'm just floored that we have a platform we've been consistent with, we've been authentic to ourselves, we've been genuine, and we are still able, after 4 seasons, to be more than just talk about the quality of the shoe or who's popular or who's wearing the shoe or why a shoe's getting retroed or not retroed or what's the top 10
Yep.
of this and that. Um, us being able to just again be the CNN of sneakers and have the following that we have. I'm very appreciative of that because um, we EPMD and we ain't going for the crossover, man. And that's what it is. That's what it is to our audience, man. Let that be known.
Yeah, we're gonna stay in business. You know what I'm saying? So again, we appreciate our audience. So specifically, shout out to our YouTube followers. We clearly see that adding the video is helping. So we're happy to add these visual aids. Keep giving us comments. Keep continuing to find us. And subscribe to our page. Shout out to our Instagram followers. All right, we've had a lot of activity. We've grown significantly this season, especially 2023 going into 2024. We put a lot more emphasis into Instagram, and growing those followers and improving just the quality of our content. So anyone that's joins now, we're not those people that just delete stuff. All right, from our page. So go backwards and you will see our journey. You will see what it looks like. That was part of the story when we told you an exhibition. We want to grow together. All right. So part of our brand is that you're going to see us grow. Everything is going to always get better. And we're going to continue to do that as we roll into season 5. But we couldn't do it without you. And we appreciate you. It motivates us. And just like the OG said when we're looking at those statistics, and you're like, where did you in Japan, like, or Indonesia or Australia, like, where are you? I don't know how you get it, but it's a compliment. We're honored that that, especially those safaris and everything like that. That means you're like Googling and finding us because that means that we're hitting home with our topics. Because it's one thing to just get keywords, but you have to have the right topic to be in a place where people. And what a lot of people don't know, pulling back the curtain again, we're not always reacting to everything. Sometimes, because we're recording multiple episodes in bulk, we've already talked about it, and then the thing happens, and then we release it in proximity. But we predicted it, and then so sometimes it's just hard to get stuff out fast enough because then it looked like reacting, and then we know that we recorded it before the news happened.
You're exposing the business now, Shark. I'm about to go Jim Cornette. Stop exposing the business. Don't expose the business.
But
Keep the
that's how it
kayfabe.
goes.
Keep the
Look,
kayfabe.
this is what we're saying. This is how secure we are with what we do because, you still not gonna cook it up like us. I can give you the ingredients, but you ain't gonna cook it up like this. This nice pot of gumbo jambalaya that we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's. But again, we're doing stuff that other people aren't doing anyway. So I'm sure that if we had this massive wave and all these blogs and everything was picking us up, then other people would be trying to do what we're doing. And we would show you even more that they can't because you had to live the life that we live. You really had to be there. We are people. Look at all these young people talking about what's going on in the 90s. Yeah, I get that it's popular, but you didn't live it. You wasn't there. You wasn't listening to the Walkman. You didn't have the two DMX albums at the same time while all the flights and the Alpha Project was going on at the same time. You weren't there. When we talked about the DMV phone posits, I'm about to have a flashback real quick, but I'm trying to keep this short. Just because we talked about the style and how it trend. OG. We were the trendsetters for the Euro cut. And the tapered jeans and the way you wear your socks. You know what I mean? And what colors, you know what I mean, and New Balance, like all of these things, So we were just happy that we were able to put together 30 strong episodes for you. And there's so much more we could talk about. That's why we're going to keep the party going. But for now, we just wanted to pause, take a 20-second time out, and thank our fans. All right, so just going to leave it there. So any final thoughts and sentiments from the OG as we wrap up this thank you episode?
To quote the great man who did comedy, Def Jam. Thank you all. God bless. Good night. See y'all next season.
There you go. All right. Appreciate you. You know where to find us. Soul Material. All right. The podcast you cheer for, the channel you cheer for, giving you that sneaker business talk. And you can't forget who gives you the clarity over popularity. The only duo. The only duo. The OG and the Shark giving you clarity over popularity. All right. We appreciate you. Till next time, friends and family. Signing off for season 4 is T Market Street Shark.
And the OGEO. See you here.
All right. 4 to the 5.
Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.